What's good, NBA Central? It's your boy Stevo speaking, and I'm here with the whole gang. Got Bobby Valentino, and we got Big Kev up in here. We're gonna talk about what teams we feel like can make the biggest turnarounds in the league, because there been a lot of big moves made. So we gonna get into it, but y'all know y'all gotta hear that music first.
Welcome to the number one place for your daily basketball news and analysis, NBA Central.
Oh. Intro hit you with a hezzy real quick. So, bro. But yeah, man, we finna come in and talk. We want to get straight into it. So, as y'all know, the free agency is, I won't say wrapping up, but it's pretty much wrapping up. There's only a couple people left on the market. Still some valuable players out there that we could pick. But for the most part, all the big names on the big signings have been made. And we came here to talk about who we feel could make the biggest turn. So I want to hear from Bobby first. Who's the team first that you feel like can make one of the biggest turnarounds?
I'm gonna go with my team. Well, not my team, but one of the teams that I think they about to be real nice, and that's the OKC Thunder. At least I'm high on SGA. If the OKC Thunder would have had a better record, SGA definitely would have received some MVP votes. Um, these guys, they definitely him, SGA, Josh Giddey, Lou Dortz, Jalen Williams, I think is going to be a problem. And then now they add in Chet Holmgren back into this young nucleus, this young core that they trying to build out there in OKC. So shout out to Sam Presti and those guys over there, because they drafting the hell out of some players and they developing these guys. And I think that with one more year of maturity and continuity amongst these guys, I think they really gonna have a nice season and a great opportunity to have a chance for a playoff spot. I'm not saying that they're gonna go in and be world beaters or make it to the Western Conference Finals, but I think they played great basketball last season. They just couldn't close out some of their games. But I think this year, now with more knowledge on them, more experience within amongst everybody, I think that these guys definitely will be in the playoffs for sure. So that'll be my first pick. OKC.
Okay.
That's a good pick. That was definitely one of my picks. Go ahead, Kev. What's your
No, I was
team?
just saying, I feel them on that one. I'm thinking the Indiana Pacers take a step forward this year. I think last year they kind of underachieved in a very difficult Central Division. But hey, it's a new year. Bruce Brown coming over there with championship experience. Tyrese Halliburton is going to have a full season. Hopefully he doesn't get injured or anything. But I think this might be a contract year from him too. So we expect him to shine. I'm just thinking that they're going to look good. They're going to look better than they looked. I think they were like 35 and 47. I could see them pushing up to 40 plus wins and maybe getting into that play-in situation this year.
Facts. Yeah, I definitely like the move to top and to go there. It's just another weapon that Tyrese Halliburton could use and possibly unlock OP Toppin as well. So, and
Obadiah.
then it, I'm forgetting, bro. They bad that bad. Obadiah Toppin. Wow. But yeah, man. So one of my teams, y'all two name two teams that's a little bit was in a little bit of a struggle boat in the NBA season. This team has been kind of successful, but I feel like they're in a limbo between like a little 6 and 4 ish, which is the Dallas Mavericks. I feel like the Dallas Mavericks came in starting off hot with a good pick in the NBA draft with Derek Lively Jr., probably the best center in the draft, and they definitely needed more bigs, and they definitely needed a legit center. One thing they haven't had in a while since Chris Dyson, you could argue if he was a legit center, they didn't have had a legit center, so they closed that hole. They still retain. They got back Dwight Powell, which is somebody who's always been consistent for them. So they keep it more depth, more people that's big and for sure. They also got their man's back in Seth Curry, which is a very solid signing.
Ooh,
That
yes.
was a very solid signing for 2 years. So that was a good sign. And then now they did get Kyrie back, which I feel like, but like minus the what we know about Kyrie. He's worth every money he got. He's talented. He's one of the best point guards in the game.
Mm-hmm.
You got the talent now, Luca. It's really up to you. You got the coach. I believe everybody feel like Jason Kidd is a worthy enough coach to get you there. So hey, you got some weapons now, so it's time to see what you're gonna do. But I personally feel that's one of the other teams that can make a
They
big
For real.
they, they also
splash.
just got Grant Williams, if I'm not
And they
Got
mistaken.
also
Grant
just got
Williams.
Williams,
th-
probably no less than 30 minutes ago for 54, I believe 54
Yeah,
million.
54 million. And then they also just added another quote unquote 3 and D guy. Three can use a little help, but he signed their offer sheet.
Dante.
That's Matisse Steibel.
They got
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Matisse?
Oh,
Yeah. So
nice.
he signed so the Blazers they can match it because Matisse
Okay.
Steibels was a restricted free agent. So
Okay.
but he did
Okay.
sign an offer from the Mavs. The Blazers they can either match it or just let him go.
And if they
So
can
I think that's
contain
big
him,
for
that's
him.
nice. If they
Yeah, I
can
think that's
contain him,
big.
that's nice. And they also picked up Dante Exum, a
Mm-hmm.
former top 5 lottery pick. He's been
Mm-hmm.
out the league a couple years now, but he's still been balling for the most part. A big guard, 6'5". Now they was comparing that man to Kobe, but even then I was like, I don't know about all that. But he still one thing y'all can make people that can play making, shot making. That's one thing he can bring to this team. So some pretty solid signings. So I also got some other signings, but they're kind of similar in the mass space. I gotta give it up for the Suns, bro. I gotta give it to the
Gotta give it to
Suns.
him.
They
Yeah.
made some nice signings from start to finish,
From
and
the low.
for the low. And I mean, and that's literally all they could do was give them the low. So it was really no other question. But for the most part, hey, they have a legit chance, and they built around. If you gonna build around the three like that, they did a pretty good job because I've seen a lot of threes that was built kind of poorly. So
Yeah.
I definitely want to give some praise to the Suns.
Oh
I
yeah,
want to
for
get him
sure.
too. The only thing that I'm still a bit concerned about the point guard spot, but I
Yeah.
think that bro, when like I don't know if what it looks like or what's been talked about is Devin Booker is gonna run that point guard spot. I don't know how great or good that's gonna be, but one thing I do know, you gotta as a coach that's coming into playing them, you gotta choose precisely on how you gonna play coverage. You gonna go up, you gonna drop coverage, you gonna double somebody to get the ball out of D Book hands. Because if not, you still got Bradley Beal who can spot up or even attack the basket. And you still got KD who don't even need that many shots, who can get it
Mhm.
going too. But at the end of the day, with the Suns and the Mavs, it's gonna have to be all about sacrifice.
I feel like
Yeah.
teams are gonna be leaving DeAndre Ayton wide open. That man, hey, he better. I said this before. He better shoot 70% from the field, man. I don't want to hear no excuses from DeAndre Ayton, or he might end up being traded by the trade deadline to be 100, bro. Because
If it's up my decision, he be gone now
mhm,
for some more quality role players. To be honest,
that's
at
true.
least like real talk, like when it comes to this offense, like I'm probably looking for more of a point guard more than a legit center. To be
Yeah,
honest, like you
I mean,
can find a more traditional center that's been more traditional to this ass, but
but
you
they
know
Yeah.
can, but they can, man. They can if they use him right this year, bro. Like he can.
he got to use his damn self
Yeah,
right.
you right. You right. He could have an
For
Andrew
real.
Bynum type season. You feel me? Like he needs to go
Mhm.
out there and dominate, bro. Like, cause
Damn, is that dude by the way better than him already?
Yes.
yeah,
I would say
and
yes.
his best years, Andrew Bynum's
Yeah,
best years is
before all
better
the
than
injuries and
Yeah.
the fall off.
because he
I
was an
think
all
so.
star.
That's a man we need to start talking about more. He kind of we got to keep that man name alive. It definitely was a quality center for sure.
For real.
Yes,
I do
sir.
got a question for y'all though.
What's
So
up?
if they don't have D Book starting at the point guard, do y'all think Campaign can just come at least just bring the ball up? The reason I'm asking is because we seen when Chris Paul went down, Campaign, he just brought the ball up, played defense, played hard, did some cutting, and just pretty much kind of started the offense. Do y'all think Campaign can do something like that?
Absolutely, they play at a faster pace with campaign out there as well.
Yeah.
And it was actually good for Phoenix. When at the few games that he did start, you could tell they had a better pace, a better flow, kind of like when DeRozan went down for the Bulls, and they had a higher pace, a faster pace. So
Mm-hmm.
I could see campaign being serviceable because he don't got to shoot. Like
Right.
they're not
And
going to rely on him to score at all. Like, dude, just
Right.
get the offense going, get that hockey assist, the pass that leads to the score. Like those types of things are going to be important. But man, I think Phoenix is going to be all right, bro. I don't think they really truly need a true point guard, to be honest, because it's
yeah, I
all of
don't know about
I
that.
think
I
in the
think they do,
closing moments of the game,
and
that's
that's
when
my
it's gonna be
yeah.
vital. So
And I
go
think
ahead,
that's the
Stevo.
whole. That was my whole purpose because he said the key word was serviceable, but I think he's going to be serviceable till he's not. And then what I mean till he's not is when people figure him out. When they
book.
actually sit down and make a game plan from, and it's a legit game that they're playing, I feel like when it comes down to it, it's not gonna work.
But Booker,
Mhm.
Bill, and Durant are ISO players in the closing seconds. You
And,
feel me? So like, I don't think that that's really going. I'm me
and
personally. I just
yeah,
think that all of them can bring the ball up first and foremost. Bradley Bill is damn near a point guard in terms of his stature. So I just
Right.
feel like they're gonna have what it takes with or without Cameron Payne to get it done. They're professional scorers, and they all can do it ISO and they can do it off ball too. So I'm excited to see what they can do.
but like you just said, I think that might be the biggest talking point is that when it comes down to it in the final moment, they're all ISO point. So when it comes down to it, they have to have that talk of who is going to beat every single time. And then I just like me, like just based on me personally and what I've seen throughout the years, Booker gonna be like, I want to take it, and then KD gonna
Right.
be like, look, I'm KD, I'm gonna take it. So
Right.
if if y'all don't come to that agreement, which I've never seen, like when KD was on the Golden State, stuff like, all right, go ahead,
Mm-hmm.
you can
Hmm.
take it, but Booker been Booker since he been here.
Right.
So like I don't know.
who,
So that's why I feel like that might be the biggest talking point.
who did they
That what
hire
you
as the
just said.
coach out there?
Um,
Frank
one of the
Vogel is the
Lakers,
coach.
Frank Vogel. Yeah.
Frank Vogel.
Yeah, so Frank Vogel is going to be the coach. I think that his defensive scheme should be good enough to where they're probably not great, but they're good enough
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
defensively because we seen Kevin Durant be able to step it up. I don't know too much about Bradley Bill. You will hope that now that he's playing with these other Hall of Fame type of players, that he can, just come and exert that effort, and still be healthy. That'll be the biggest thing. And then what lineup do you go to? Because what if campaign ain't give you nothing? Do you go Josh Okogie at that point? What? So that yeah, exactly. That'll be a lot of questions that they got to figure out. I did have one more team though that I want to ask y'all about.
Okay.
The Utah Jazz. They kind of
Mm.
play hard. Well, they play hard and they play well early on in the season. Obviously, Danny Ainge called downstairs like, all right, enough of that. So that's it. That's all. But you know what I'm saying? They still got Abaji. They picked up John Collins, re-signed Jordan Clarkson.
Yep.
Still got Larry Marketing, got Walker Kessler, THT, picked up Taylor Hendricks. What do y'all think? Do y'all think they started to take step forward?
They should.
I mean, that's what I was just about to say. This should be a step for sure.
They definitely should. Like they. I'm not talking to
But
you.
no big but no
Jesus.
big turnaround. You still
Um.
think they got years? You still think they got like a year or two away, or maybe some more acquisitions
Yeah.
away?
Because here's the thing. Like in the Western Conference, like you already know the teams that we all know, and we talked about it ad nauseum of how close the Western Conference was. Like
Right.
everybody was within 2 or 3 games of each other, with the exception of
That's true.
Denver at the top. So it's
Right.
like Utah could take a step forward, but how big of a step is anybody in the Western Conference going to take? Is it going to be as competitive as it was this past season, or is Denver going to come in and have that championship streak where they just take off again? But teams like Sacramento going to be there, the Clippers going to be there, the Suns going to be there, Dallas going to be there. So, and even teams like the Pelicans, you can't overlook. So it's like
Hmm.
That's
even
fair.
if Utah takes a step forward, it might just be where they were last year.
Okay. That's fair.
And that was I was gonna bring two other teams up, and that was
I was
what you just said: New
okay.
Orleans and Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Those two teams, like they're young. Um, we've seen with Zion is healthy, that's a playoff team for sure. So,
That's true.
but that's a big if. But
My man's out here doing more humping than dribbling. But hey, I just Steve, I know I'm asking a lot of questions, bro, and you hosting, but
Let's
what
do it.
about the Cavs?
I
Would they
like it.
with re-signing Levert, going to
Mm-hmm.
get Max Strus and Niang to
Mm-hmm.
add on size and 3-point
And
shooting?
that's one thing they was missing, and I feel like they ran into a wall is when Devin Booker, when
Donovan
Donovan
Mitchell.
Mitchell was not as efficient what he is, and he gets into spurts. He's a black hole. He gets into
Mhm.
spurts when he's just not efficient. You
Right.
need knockdown shooters, and he just got two of them.
And
Now, go ahead.
Yang, I wanted him to come to the Bulls so bad.
Because he torched our ass.
I
Bro.
wanted him to be a
He
Bull
torched our ass. And when I say he torched I don't mean one game.
every
I
time.
don't mean
Never.
it was one game he did nothing, and that was the end of the season.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. I think
But
Cleveland should be good. They were like the 5 seed, if I'm not mistaken, the
they
4
was
seed.
fourth and they lost to the Knicks, the
Knicks
5
in the
seed.
first round. So it's
Yep.
like it's like okay, taking a step forward would mean they got to be better than Philly, Boston, and Milwaukee. And I just don't see that. Even with the additions that they made. Now they should win the Central Division. I mean, not win the Central Division, but they should be right behind Milwaukee in the Central Division. But I don't necessarily see them taking too big of a leap
Right.
forward, just considering the competition in front of them.
That's
For
definitely
sure.
fair.
That's fair.
Definitely fair.
That's fair.
But yeah, y'all got any other teams besides those? 'Cause
Orlando, I like Orlando. They
yeah.
they finished the season really strong, and honestly, they would have been that last play-in team if they would have started the season a little bit better. I think they started like
Mm-hmm.
2-12 or something like that. It was a bad real start for them, but then after that, they won a lot of games, and they have a lot of youth, and they have a really good coach out there. And then Paolo isn't gonna be in second year, so I'm just thinking that, and they still got the Wagner brothers. They're gonna be all right, man. I'm not saying that they're gonna.
Now they do. They still got hella guards. That's my only
That's
concern.
yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
because they just got Anthony Black, which is not a bad pick because he's definitely
Mhm.
talented. He's a good shooter, so they definitely need some more shooting around there. But I'm kind of looking around that trade deadline for them to make almost like a not necessarily as a push that the Lakers did, but somewhat similar. Just maybe a first round to second round exit, just because I feel like they have a lot of talent on there that they can make a solid move to get to acquire something, either
Mm-hmm.
in picks or a player.
That's
They
fair
got enough
too.
assets.
But
That's
yeah,
fair too.
man, that's the episode for today. We just wanted to come in and tell y'all about what we feel like can be the biggest turnaround because, like I said, we done named about what was that 7 to 8
Yeah,
teams
we went.
almost.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like it's definitely now. That's not we're not saying it could happen. We just going based off of early predictions of what we see moves because they still got to play at the end of the
Facts.
day. But yeah, it's Stevo speaks. You heard from Bobby Valentino. You heard from Big Kev, and we gonna check out of here. And when we gonna check us with another video.
Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Breaks Media.